Hello, my name is Brittany Martinez, and I'm going to be going over the new Transportation Weekly Report, or more commonly known as the timesheet. As opposed to previous versions of the timesheet, this version is online and compatible with most popular browsers and devices, like PCs, Mac, Android, Apple, and Windows. All you need is a computer, mobile device, or tablet with access to the internet, whether through Wi-Fi or mobile data. It's important to remember that the device you choose to complete the timesheet should be the same device you use every time in order to optimize the available features. When you open the timesheet, the first section you will see is the employee information. In the Week Of section, 3 weeks will be available: the previous week, the current week, and the week after. Make your selection by clicking on the week. After you select your area, the team numbers within that area will be displayed. Select your team by clicking on the number. In the employee name text box, you'll need to enter your last name, followed by your first name, and your middle initial if you have one. After you type your name and exit the field, the program will automatically proper case your name for you. Enter in your 6-digit employee ID number. Under Positions, select your job title. If you are an OJT trainer and you had a trainee with you during this pay week, click on the OJT Trainer checkbox and enter in your trainee's name. Under Vehicle, enter your assigned vehicle number. If you are in a spare this pay week, enter in your spare vehicle numbers in the text fields. Once you have completed the employee information fields, you can minimize the section by clicking on the arrow in the top right corner. At any time, if you need to go back into the employee information, simply click on the down arrow to maximize the section again. The green bar is what's known as your navigation bar. These are 3 arrows displaying days of the week. When you open the timesheet, you will automatically be directed to the current day. If you need to move forward or backward within that week, use the right and left arrows to do so. The furthest back you can go is Saturday, and the furthest forward you can go is Friday. If you are a driver, driver trainee, or sub-driver, the pupil count section will be available. Click on the question mark to see some helpful tips. Please remember that the pupil count section is strictly for routes that are assigned to you. You will need to enter in the counts and the time for each day that you drove. The route numbers only need to be entered in once. In the morning run section, enter your morning routes in the order that they are driven. Follow the same procedure for the afternoon routes, as well as for any pack, preschool, shuttle, or late runs. The smaller box to the right of the route is where you will enter in your pupil counts. There are count boxes for each day of the week. After you have entered in your counts, move on to the pupil time. Click in the time field to display the time selector. For every time field in this application, you will use the time selector to enter your time. Use the arrows to go up and down in time. For the hours, the blue arrows will go up and down by 1, and the double red arrows will go up and down by 2. For the minutes, the blue arrow will go up and down by 1, and the red double arrows will go up and down by 10. You can also cycle through the AM and PM. Use the arrows to find the correct time for your first student pickup, and then click on the green check mark when you are finished. Follow the same procedures for your last student drop-off and your first student pickup and last student drop-off in the afternoon. Since your pupil time is most likely to be close to the same Monday through Friday, a copy button is available to you to copy your time to the next day. Click on the black copy button and a message box will pop up. Do you want to copy your pupil time to the next day? Click on the green check mark to copy. If you go to the next day, you will see that your time was copied. If you need to make any changes, simply click in the time field that needs to be updated. Use the arrows to change the time, and click the green check mark when you are finished. The copy routine will need to be repeated on each day to move the time throughout the week. Continue to enter in your pupil counts for the rest of the week, or if you are doing the counts daily, you can move on to the next section. Remember that the route number only needs to be entered in once, even if that specific route does not go every day. On days that a route does not go, like a shuttle or late run, the route number will be displayed, but no pupil counts should be entered. In the instance that your route is a signal 30 and no students were riding the bus, you must enter in a count of 0. If you have time worked, you must have a pupil count, whether it's a 0 or higher. The count section is also equipped with the minimize and maximize button. You may minimize the section when you are complete so that it takes up less space on your screen. Next, we will go over the daily time section. Below the date and date are the daily total boxes. These fields will automatically update as time is entered. The yellow section is for your leave. We will skip over this box for now and return to it later in this video. Let's start with your regular run time. In the morning run section, click on the first time field to enter in your morning start time. For these time fields, the minute blue arrows will go up and down by 5, and the double red arrows will go up and down by 15. Use the arrows to enter in your morning start time and click on the green check mark when you are finished. Repeat this process for your morning end time, your afternoon runs, or any other run that you went on this day. The validation in this application will not allow you to overlap your time in any time field for that specific day, whether it's a regular run, other work, field trip, or leave. If you get an overlap error message, check the time that you are entering and correct it so that it doesn't overlap with another time field. Once you have finished entering in your regular run time, you can use the blue Copy button to copy these hours to the next day. Click on the Copy button and click on the green check mark to run the copy routine. When you go to the next day, you will see that your hours were copied over. If you need to remove any time for a run that did not go on this day, click on the X button to remove your time. You can also click into any time field that needs to be changed to make updates. Repeat the copy routine process to move your time through the entire week. Let's return to the leave section. Use the arrow to maximize the section. If you had leave for the entire day, click on the All Day Leave checkbox. You'll notice that all other fields have become disabled and cleared. Select your leave type from the Leave dropdown. The leave type selected must match the leave type that was taken for that day. For all day leave, no hours will be displayed. When you take the entire day, you are charged your scheduled hours, meaning if you are an 8-hour employee, you will be charged 8 hours of leave. This information is already stored in our system, so it does not need to be displayed on your timesheet. If you only took partial leave, whether for your morning or afternoon runs, or even a shuttle, use the time fields to enter a start and end time for your leave. Select your leave type from the dropdown. Partial leave is charged by the amount of time taken. If you have other work to enter, click on the Maximize button on an Other Work section. For each day of the week, you have 3 other work sections to record time. For the entire week, the timesheet is limited to 10 other works. For anything exceeding, you will be instructed to fill out a supplement timesheet. Use the drop-down to select a category for your other work duty. If you need assistance determining which category to use, click on the question mark to display a summary of each category. For anything that does not fall into one of the categories, select Other and include a brief description of your work duty. FYI is also available for any notes that must be included on the timesheet without hours. When you select FYI, the time fields will be disabled. The additional notes section is limited on the number of characters you can enter. Keep your descriptions short, brief, and to the point. Use the time selector to enter in your start and end time. If you had a field trip, click on the Maximize button to open the field trip section. Like other work, you have 3 field trip sections for each day, but the total number of field trips for the entire week is limited to 5. If you have more than 5 field trips in 1 week, you will be instructed to complete a supplement report. Enter in your voucher number using the last 6 digits of your field trip voucher number. Clicking in the origin and destination fields will bring up the field trip location selector. You can type in your location, or more preferably, select from the numerous locations stored in the drop-down list. If you are using a physical keyboard, you can quickly get to your selection if you type in the first few characters of the name. Click on the check mark once you've selected your location, and the name will be entered into the field. Enter in your start and end time from the voucher using the time selector. The time should match what was documented on the voucher. If you have a split trip, use 2 field trip boxes for your trip. Enter in the same voucher number in both sections and then split your time into each section. Repeat these time processes through the entire week until all of your time has been recorded. If you are an OJT trainer and you checked OJT trainer in the employee information section, you will be given access to the OJT checkboxes for the time fields. In order to track your OJT time with your trainee, check the OJT checkbox for each time section that you worked with your trainee. If you have any work outside of regular runtime, like a meeting or training, use the OJT checkbox in the other work section to record that time. In some situations, you may begin your morning or afternoon run before you receive your trainee. In these situations, split your time between the regular run time and the other work section to properly identify the time that was performed with the trainee. Lift checkboxes are available in the regular run time, other work, and field trip. If you have a lift student on one of your runs, click on the lift checkbox. If the lift student is on your morning, afternoon, shuttle, midday, or late run, lift pay will get paid for that entire regular run section for that day. All other work and field trips with lifts get paid as an individual occurrence. Down at the very bottom of the page is your weekly recap of hours. As you add or remove time from your timesheet, the calculations at the bottom will update. The runtime and other work sections are calculated and added in hours and minute format. The field trips are converted to decimal and then totaled. Field trips are billed to schools per trip, so the time must be converted to be billed to the school. Your hours worked is calculated between your runtime, other work, and field trips. Weekly lift pay, OJT pay, and callback time is also displayed in this section. After you have completed the entire week, or any time you want to review the timesheet for what has been entered, use the top menu bar and select Preview. The validation process will run, and if successful, will allow you to enter in your initials. If the validation process fails, a message box will display with what needs to be adjusted. The Preview page is a way to see everything you have entered for the week. Ensure all hours you worked are properly recorded and all leave taken has been accounted for. If you need to make corrections, use the Go Back in the menu bar to return to the home page. When you are ready, click on Download in the menu bar to view the timesheet. If you are using the Google Chrome browser on a desktop computer, the timesheet will automatically download in a pre-named format. Other browsers must be triggered manually to begin the download process. The important thing to remember is that the timesheet must be downloaded as a PDF. A link or an image is not an acceptable format. The name of the file does not matter as long as the file name ends with .pdf. Once the file is downloaded, the timesheet needs to be attached to an email and sent in for submission. Open your county email using an email application or with the browser. Use your login and password if you are not signed in already. The use of your own designated login and password for your email is the authentication process that is required to submit your weekly hours digitally without a handwritten signature. Due to such conditions, using your county email is mandatory to submit your weekly timesheet. Once you are signed in, open up a blank email and type trans timesheet at fcps.edu into the To field. After a few times of typing in this email address, your email application will typically make the suggestion for you to click on. Add a subject line and a message to the body. The subject line and message do not matter in regards to the submission of your timesheet, so any simple message will do. The key to this whole process is that you must attach the PDF timesheet to the email. Open up the attachments and locate the file on your device. Ensure you are selecting the correct timesheet. Every time you go through the download process, a new timesheet is saved to your device, and it may have a similar name to one that is already saved. Once the file is successfully attached to the email, hit Send. The Trans Timesheet email account will receive your email and, if properly sent, will respond to you with a confirmation email. When you return to the timesheet the following week, all of the data from the previous week will still be on the timesheet. Go through the timesheet and remove any fields that you do not need anymore. Next to a time field, there are X buttons where you can remove the time. In the Other Work and Field Trip sections, there are circles with slashes through them where you can remove the text from those fields. If you encounter any issues, or if you have any further questions that the training material does not answer, please reach out to your supervisory staff for assistance. Thank you for watching.